He's off till Thursday, and then he's got to go back and see the school nurse, whatever it is, to see if he can be cleared or not.
They didn't clear him for wrestling, but they did clear him for killing.
So but I told him, I said, it's too early in your career to be having concussions.
Oh shit. So there he is, Green Goddess, the prick, God, the jerk. Yeah, we're looking at you.
I can't wait to hang with Caribou and get my head straight. I can't wait to hang with Caribou and get my head straight. I can't wait. Think it's time to.
But yeah, I love that.
All right, everybody, good morning. We'll start off with a quick shout out to Larry and Stoney and Bobby Bronco for the kick-ass song. Those are the fellas in Catachronic, if you don't already know. How's everybody doing? I see we got Indica Bees joining us again today. Or wait, did he already fuck off? Oh no, there he is in the corner there. You've switched corners of the screen there from me from when I put the song on till the time the song come off. You're on opposite sides there, so good you didn't just fuck off on me there. How you doing, B?
Good, man. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, chat. Pumped to be here. Yeah, man. Just getting better week by week, and hopefully it stays that way, you know. So yeah, pumped to be here. Smoking on some orange gasm to get this wake and bake started. And yeah, cheers, everybody.
Sounds like fire. Great to hear, brother, and great to see you once again. Drizzit up in the top corner. How you doing, brother? What are we looking at behind you? And what are you smoking on?
That I'm actually smoking on some of the Chango terpene titties that I grew way earlier. But what's up behind me there is my Franklin's Tower. It's getting bigger, full of seeds. I should have enough F2s that I won't run out of seeds for like that, because I didn't have very many to start with. So I was happy that everything took.
Yeah, I hear that, man. What's the terpene profile like on that Franklin's Tower? I've got a few beans that I'm sitting on that I'm waiting to play with myself.
It's a lemon. It's lemon crossed with a rise, lemon something. I forget lemon G. It could be lemon G.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's see, moving across the board, we're looking at Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. I thought it was his kid with the peanut sticking out of his head personally when I saw him show up. But Prophet, how you doing, brother? What are you smoking on?
A few things, but I started attacking this Gorilla Glue fucking rosin I've been rocking from good friend Yellow Shoes there. Shit's fire. But the funny part is it usually takes me 15 fucking minutes to open the childproof lock that comes with these damn things. So
your kid to open it.
Put your palm on it.
It's not a push down. It's not a push down. You want me to hand it to the person that don't smoke? Oh wait, I got it. Record time. Hold on.
Everybody
Everybody
there,
see
Prophet.
the look of accomplishment on Prophet's face. That was like a
I was
3-year-old
excited.
when he did something right. It was just, got it, guys.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
Is that the one you lost the other day, Prophet?
No, I don't think I found that one yet.
Did join the fucking joint in the sheet of acid?
Yes, it
And
has.
the
Son
nether.
of a
It's a
bitch.
hell of a party somewhere in my house. I just haven't found it.
I think it's slipped into another dimension, man. I've been watching Dragon Ball Super, and I'm pretty certain it's probably in the 6th universe now.
Well, I mean, if you pay attention to what's been going on with the Large Hadron Collider, finding ghost particles, breaking into the supersymmetry and shit, I can
That's where it
imagine
is.
that it's been transferred over to an alternate reality where, like, you know, this Mandela effect's going on, you know.
There's another prophet.
In another reality, I have my shit, but unfortunately,
I think this motherfucker didn't lose that sheet of acid. I think he's been sitting on it for years. I think it's under his ass and he doesn't fucking know it.
He took that shit
Oh,
and he's
yeah,
tripping
dude.
so hard. He took that shit and he's tripping so hard. He thinks he's still looking for it.
Kind of like on that
I
SLC
think
punk movie where the guy runs through the sprinklers with the sheet of acid in his pocket. Only this case, it's maybe his back pocket or his fucking actually right on the couch. Prof got that ass sweat from sitting there so long during the summer. It's soaking up, and he's
Just slowly fucking leaching into his ass from underneath the cushion.
and then he tries to blame the edibles when he shuts down the show midstream. Right? It was the acid.
Dude,
We know it.
fuck off. Because if that was LSD, it would have been a long running show, right? I would have probably put you guys in the back
Yeah,
and watch me running around in circles doing absolute madness.
It would have been a 10-hour show.
Yeah, I would have been like, I feel like painting my walls today. I got bored with that halfway through it. Let's do something else, you know? Yeah, no, you don't. I wouldn't even film me on acid, allegedly.
Sounds like it'd be a good time. All right,
Oh,
let's-
it's probably going to be a blast. I do a lot of I like to break things because especially glass, because I like to hear it shatter and like all the glimmering of the light that you catch, like in the trails. I don't know. I'll destructive.
Yeah, glass breaking is fucking awesome.
All right, as long as I'm not alone with that, you know, the
No.
sound, like everything.
Everything about it, dude. Everything about
When you're
it.
tripping, it's just like,
And yeah, it's cool. See, I could do it, but we'd have to come into the show like 4 or 5 hours after.
oh no, dude, I love fighting that fucking intense peak that's hitting you. And if you can keep
On
your
camera.
shit and hold a conversation, you'll be all right for the rest of the ride.
Yeah,
On camera, you might feel a little different about that.
I would just be sitting here silent for probably like an hour
Oh, I don't get silent when I'm tripping.
with a big smile,
I don't get silent.
and then go, man, and then back to fucking tripping.
You know, on that
I'd
glass
have to-
breaking,
you
I
create
have
a
to put you
playlist.
guys on my phone because I wouldn't be able to sit here unless I carried you around with my fucking laptop strapped to me on a back because
Yeah,
we're
music.
going to climb roofs, trees, running through fucking whatever the fuck else I'll get fined. We might get shot at by some of the neighbors that I shouldn't be in their yards. It'll be a fun time.
You guys got it easy now, bro. You get your freaking music right on your phone or anywhere. You don't got to search for freaking records or cassettes. Imagine fucking tripping 20 years ago with no fucking electronic playlist, and you have to freaking sit there looking for a cassette you want to play next. And 45 minutes, an hour later, you're still tripping into your cassette deck, flipping through shit. You haven't even
No.
put any.
That's why you put on
pissed off because you
Pink
haven't
Floyd.
been able to fucking find it yet. Oh, it
Just
just
put on
ruins
Pink
your whole
Floyd,
fucking
guys,
ride.
and then just let it run.
The shit
Trying to
fast
record on the radio
They're
and
making
having
noise.
to,
Fast forward. Shit.
Yeah, I feel like when I listen to my records while I'm tripping, I'm super fucking focused on it. Like it's not a problem, dude, to find a record, and I can even fucking move the needle to the song I want. I don't know how. I couldn't do it now. I would be fucking all appalled, like, you know, can't drop the needle down on the fucking record to save my life.
You're just tripping, dude. You think you have it all right. The song's
Yeah, I was
fine.
gonna say you think you got it
No, you-
together.
you
Then
know
you
what's
wake
so
up in the
funny?
morning and see that trail across your fucking record.
Like the last like 3 or 4 times that I've taken acid and listened to my records, some reason I always like go to this progression where I like will listen to something and then it'll lead me to one of my 45s. So I start listening to my 45s, which is awesome. But then like 3 times in a row, I've thought I'm going to listen to Santana now, but I don't remember to change it back to 33 1/3. So Santana comes on and he's fucking ripping, dude. And I'm tripping and I'm always like, dude, Santana kicks ass. Like, why is he playing so, like, since when does he play so fucking fast? Like, tripping out. And then when I hear the word, them start singing, I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I'm fucking tripping. Like, these guys are fucking thrash metal. What are they talking about?
That'd be funny.
Oh, well, you're on it. What are you smoking on this morning, Bees?
I'm smoking on some old school lemons, and it is delicious. Quite like it.
Where do you pick that up from? Is this gray? Is this dispensary?
It's Dispensary. It's a Deep Roots Harvest.
Deep Roots Harvest. Okay.
Yep.
And
Man.
enjoyable.
You know, I'll be honest. So it's like it's there. I think they white labeled it. Like this one actually has the grower Stank Eye Genetics on it, so I think that's kind of cool. But their house brand, I'm usually like, it's okay, it's good, it's good smoke. But whenever you buy it, it's like the most dry. You know, like you buy an 1/8 and you're probably buying 3 grams because it's fucking dry as shit. I mean, it's okay, but anyway. So for that reason, I'm always like a little disappointed. But this is fantastic.
On that container, Beast, does it give you I mean, in addition to the grower, does it give you like any type of identification number or a manufacturer's date or some way to identify that? I know in Canada, like it all has to be on the label because if there is ever a recall, it's all got to come back. So
they do give you a printout, you know, like of with all that information on there, batch number, you know, things like that. On the container, it shows lot number. I mean, there is a code here, so I'd imagine that would be. But anyway, THC, CBD, and then it'll show you the top 3 terpenes on.
Okay.
So
okay,
but terpene, myrcene, and ocimene.
I guess what I'm referring to.
Date, test date, package date, best by date.
Okay. Yeah, it's got all that information. Yeah, and if anybody had to track that particular strain,
it could be
back.
Tracked.
They could. Yeah.
Yep.
It all has to be tracked from seed to sale. Everything has to be on the label, and then on top of that, there has to be a QA code on there that you could scan. Excuse me, and it takes you to a third-party test result, non-affiliate from that company.
Oh, wow, that's a good. Yeah. By the way, since you mentioned that, that's when you're in the market for looking for lighting. That's absolutely vital that you do get a report from a third party, because I mean we can all make up lies and say how fantastic our fucking product is.
Yeah,
but,
dude. And you can't get the guy's freaking cousin that works for the affiliated company associated to the light company, you know, giving you the reports either.
Yeah.
And you can't be the guy, well, I used to work at a test facility, but now I work for this light company guy either.
Hey, Prophet, only Uncle Rick, the king pimp, gets to slap your mom around, buddy. Not you. You don't get that privilege.
Here.
That guy, Micro.
If you pay me $1, I don't give a fuck who you are.
I think
Good morning, Caribou. What are you smoking on, buddy?
Your mom looks mean. She looks like she doesn't fight fair, buddy. You should probably take you down and mess you up.
She's like a pit bull. I'd be like more like a bully. I'd probably describe my mom.
It's like my mom, a little 5-foot sawed-off shotgun. Don't care. She'll throw a punch and take you down in a hurry.
Giving pit bulls a
goes right for the pressure points, dude, and she is not fucking hesitant about it. It's just like, yeah, like jab to the throat. You go like this, and it's under the armpit, and then fucking twist it into a fucking wrist lock. And you're like, okay, Ma, I'll do the dishes. You know, like what the fuck?
You're ruining it for all pit bulls, bro.
Hey, my mom is a beautiful bitch.
My pit's a fucking ham, dude.
My pit
like
is not.
She's like on her back.
My pit is a big baby. She lays on her back. I guess she is a bit of a fat ass. I guess the only difference is I wouldn't pet my mother's belly. You can for $1.
That's funny. Poor Roxy, she does kind of have a belly on her, doesn't she?
Hey, she had puppies. You know, I mean, I've been trying to get her on the crunches and shit, but none of the women in the house like doing crunches.
Ooh, you better watch your mouth this early in the morning. They gonna hear that shit. We're gonna watch a prophet die.
For real.
It'd be like that YouTube skit. You'd be like, and I said,
Well, Black isn't out here. If she was, I wouldn't be saying.
I said 15 sit-ups. Oh, shit.
You want food tonight? Come on, reach for it. Sit up for it. Come on.
I thought you were talking Crunch Bar.
Crunch
Like,
bar.
fuck, I'll eat 15 of those right now. Hand them over.
Or bees crunch. I reach into the fucking fridge. Holy
I just
shit.
ate a chocolate confection made by Paula. It tasted like a Crunch Bar. It was delicious.
Everything Paula makes seems to be delicious.
Does she use the Levio machine or that?
that seems interesting for a Sunday morning. You're gonna go for it, huh?
Yes, I am. There's nothing wrong with eating chocolate in the morning, everybody. You just know you have room for it that way.
There you go. Hey, we got Indica on here. Can we get him to do his famous intro? It's still pretty early in the show. We're only 17 minutes in.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you guys too, man. I'm more pumped every time I'm here, man. Miss you all, miss chat, man. It feels good to be here and back consistently again. But yeah, man, hit that thumbs up button if you're having a kick-ass wake and bake time with us this morning. Cheers, everybody.
I want to take care of some little bit of business here with our Patreon supporters as well. While we're on a roll here, I just want to say a special thanks to our supporters: Crazy Pop Mom, Stony Rockefeller, Raider Dank Vader, Hypothetical Genetics, BC Stoner Mom, Dave's Not Here, Sticky Icky Cookie, Opie 7420, Lobster Bush Bro, Papa Z, G-Bay Genetics, Colton Bridge, Astro Charlie, Eric Taylor, 420 Green Goddess, Terra Love 420, and South Nelson Farms. Thank you so much. But while we got you up there, Indica, it's been a while since I've heard a really good description of the orange gasm. Would you care to share? Give us an update.
Yeah, man, it's been a while, but it definitely doesn't smell like that. We'll say now that it's dried and cured, but yeah, stub rubs and while it was early to mid flower, man, it just smelled like when you're 13 in gym class and you have that sweaty ass and ball sack, and you just got that fresh orange from the lunchroom, man. It cracked it open, all that one whiff right off your hand, man. It was some funky shit, man, and it's phenomenal. So got 2 more orange gasm going now, so curious to see what we get from those. So
I love that description. I really want to give him my golden goat and see what he says, because I have 2 vastly different fucking golden goats. One is
Like,
kind of
out here in citrus farms, dude, with the hard workers, you probably get a waft of that just like that. All the citrus, Florida and all the farmers, you probably get that freaking pheno right there.
You just reminded me of I'll try to make it a quick story, but I went down to California. It would have been, I'm trying to think of the time of the year. Well, I'll tell you exactly when it was. It was your spring break. And so we went down to California and we stayed up by Magic Mountain. I think it's called the Napa Valley there, where with all the orange groves.
Yeah.
And oh my God, we stayed in a campground. This campground was enormous. It had 3 swimming pools, this one campground. And of course, in the morning, you could smell the wafting of the orange blossoms through the valley. It was spectacular. But the other thing that I thought was so hilarious was I didn't realize it was your spring break. So we got there on the weekend and the place was packed. I mean, it was big. But come Monday morning, the fucking place is empty, man. Where did everybody go? But anyway, yeah. Oh, and I was just curious, Indica, what the taste and flavor profile of the orange gasm is now when you smoke it, the smell and so on.
Yeah, right now it's I mean, I've never had something that has such hard hits of tangy in it. It's just very tangy, citrusy, some small hints of orange in there. But I'm mainly just getting a deep tangy off of it, just citrusy to tangy-ish. It's phenomenal taste. I love it.
Cool.
Shit will have me sweating, man. Fucking vacuuming in the house. Just, you know, I mean, it's definitely a good, nice morning strain. You know, has you getting shit done. So
rearranging stuff just to see what it looks like.
yeah, man, just you know what I mean, because you got nothing else to do and you're so fucking bored. Yeah, you know, why not? So
You know, when I was younger, I you know, I didn't know shit about what a terpene was. Saved my life, but I don't know if anybody did. But anyway, you know, and like you'd get the different strain, and like if it smelled like oranges, I was just like, well, clearly somebody was growing this in their orange orchard, right?
Yeah.
Or if it smelled like pine trees, it's like, oh, well, this was grown up in the mountains, fucking in the pine trees. Like if it smelled like hay, honestly,
really what's going on is somebody was taking a bag and putting orange peels in it.
No joke. Yeah, no
and then
joke.
selling it to you.
You
I
were
know. No, I know this now. Like
I knew what terpenes were. You just didn't know those were actual terpenes per se. You know, that shit's crazy. Everyone used to say the same thing. I think. Oh, they grew this shit with fucking orange fertilizer or something crap, or they fed this shit fish. This shit smells rotten.
Talking about, I never even heard of fucking orange. Like, if somebody would have sent me something with orange, I'd have told them to get the fuck up out of there with that bullshit. That ain't real weed. I don't know what they're trying to pull on me. Never once. Like, hell, probably till 10 years ago had I ever smelled anything other than fucking either ass or pine. That's it.
It's legit though, a compact brick. I'm not buying it.
I guess we're fortunate down here, man. We've always had a good variation. A lot of haze crosses out here, man. I'm almost sure the fucking founder of haze was fucking Florida. There's so many damn hazes down here. It's just out of control.
You'd grow more.
We don't have any haze over here, which is weird.
Well, that's a sativa, is it not?
I believe so.
Yeah. So, and
Yes, it is.
Outdoors, out down your way, it's probably more conducive for growing outdoors.
Nobody down here grows outdoors.
No,
especially before medical. All the medical's indoor, 100%, or temporary greenhouse.
And that's because of fear of the law, or like because you've got a natural environment for growing outdoors, man.
Yeah, but for the laws, back in the days because of the laws, and you don't really have a natural environment. You do if you control your humidity and temperatures. You could greenhouse a lot of stuff.
It is so wet down there, Rick, that you know almost the problem that you have that you can't get the time. They can't fucking get it to dry out enough.
Our season starts right now. Like if you go down to our agriculture, they just finished plowing all the lands and seeding and dropping, you know, cuttings or whatever the hell they're doing. Our season starts now. Before now, it's just way too much rain. Everything just molds up and rots out. Doesn't matter what it is. The tomatoes, it's too hot. Tomatoes plump up and they burst and shit. And
okay.
There's a handful of things they grow year round. Okra, you know, different beans and shit like that could grow year round. And they'll alternate these crops on those fields according to the season and if it allows it and shit. But yeah, right now is when they start. I'd be right now is when I'd be starting my garden if I didn't have freaking COVID delays, you know, work delays and shit. I literally just chopped everything in my garden area. I tarped it down with that fabric cloth to kill everything off. And I'll probably peel it back in a couple of weeks, and I might have time to do some fast stuff.
What do you like to plant for annuals in your garden there, 40?
Oh man, dude. I got a fucking Tupperware container bin full of like edible seeds and shit, you know, from eggplants to shit, pigeon peas, different cherry tomatoes, different heirloom tomatoes. Oh man, fucking rainbow carrots, radishes, man, that list goes on and on, dude.
How big an area?
So when I bought this property, there used to be an above ground pool that's probably, I don't know, 20 feet round, 18 feet round. And it looks like they dug down about 2 feet and made a semi foundation to sink in the above ground pool.
Yeah.
So when I moved in here, the pool was non-existent, but the void was there, and I was only a tenant. So I didn't want to pay for filling it, not knowing what I was going to do with the area. So I started gardening. I made these little pie sections that I could get in between these pies, since it's round, and just make these different pie sections.
Oh,
but the
yeah.
pie have all deteriorated. It was all made out of wood and bamboo. That's all part of the dirt now. So I'm just going to select a couple areas and just make rows in between, you know.
Uh-huh.
But then besides that, the rest of my, you know, my plants, my trees are year round. My bananas and guava and soursop and hog plum and I don't know, moringa tree back there and all types of shit, bro.
A meringue? What's a morango?
Moringa.
Yeah.
It's a superfood. People eat the green. They to preserve it, you dry out the greens. Which is funny is that a lot of the guys that I know that were in the gardening area would use their drying facilities, which they use out here is the shipping containers. They'll insulate them a little bit and put some exhaust and some fans, and they get hot as fuck. So they dry out these moringa leaves, pulverize them, and then make teas and different powders that you could take as a superfood. If you're fortunate enough to just take it off the plant, you could add the greens to your salad. You could add a couple of little of the flowers. So it's
how
good.
would I go about germinating some moringa seeds, 40? Because the Hurtin Albertan sent me some seeds earlier this spring, and I tried germinating a few of the moringas and they didn't take it all. So are they any different than your average typical seed, or do they need some kind of special process?
Those things are fucking like, so it's a legume. So on its own, it creates nitrogen and topping as it decays and leaves and falls and drops the seeds. So it could reproduce right then and there on areas that a regular plant wouldn't take because there's not enough in the dirt. This creates dirt. So those seeds germinate easy as fuck. I got to cull them off all the time, dude. They be falling into my compost bin. I let them grow for a bit until it gets crazy rooted. And then I just chop them down and let them fall right there in the compost bin. But
well, all you had to say was you're a fuck up and you screwed it up. And
I didn't
this is not easy, and anybody can do it except for you.
Why not?
Put it in a little 3 gallon and shit, and just put it in your tent. It should germ. Just don't over wet it.
Okay, I'll give her a shot because I last night I fired up one of those 16 by 16 sip containers that I've been threatening to fire up for a while now, and I just my 13-year-old stepdaughter, she asking her what she wants for Christmas. She wanted gift certificates to the local garden centers and stuff so she can learn about gardening and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
So I was thinking I'm going to do one of these sip containers for myself. It'll probably run an auto in it or something like that, just so I can play with organics. But I'd also like to teach the girls something too. So let's get a couple of those containers full of edible foods or something that's completely uncannabis related, so that I can have my 7-year-old daughter and my 13-year-old stepdaughter in there playing around too. But I've got a million cannabis seeds buzzing around here, but like the food and flower type seeds were a little bit short on those. But I do have those moringas that the Hurtin sent up, and I wasn't sure if it needed something special or if I fucked it up. I can fuck up seeds with the best of them, so I knew that was a likely scenario.
They grow super fast. They you could top the whole fucking thing. You know, the shoots are so freaking tall. They got to be 30 feet right now. I got to cut off all of the branches that come up. I usually cut them above my head height, so nothing branches out lower than my head height, so I could walk around it. And I literally just cut the whole stalk underneath all those branches at 45, so the water doesn't set, and it'll start branching right out from there again. They just don't have a really strong root system or trunk system for storms down here. So when I have bags full of seeds, you could roast them, you could eat them, but I store them for just in case there's a hurricane one day and I lose them. You know, they're good. They grow from. I could cut a branch and stick it in the ground, and that fucker would just grow. You don't have to do it. You don't even have to freaking Nothing.
Yeah, we
Well,
got
I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna give this some more.
Sounds
fucked up.
like you're really fucked up, Caribou.
You got to be pretty incompetent, apparently.
And 40 just won't let it go.
Yeah. So the younger leaves are nice and neutral, but as they get older, they get a little bit more like the arugula spiciness to it and shit, which is cool for salads. And then the flowers are diuretic. Am I saying that right?
Make you poop, make you pee.
Make you poop if you eat too much of it, but you know, a couple of them on your salad or anywhere, they're real sweet. But people do make teas out of them to help them digestive if they're backed up and shit. And yeah, dude, I guess mine gets composted. I make teas with it all the time for the garden and shit.
Could you, 40, could you, excuse me, could you post some pictures on IG of that stuff, please?
On yeah, you know. Yeah. If you were on Discord, there's a guy on Discord that's associated to my lifestyle and has a lot of pictures of what's going on.
You know what's real funny with all the stuff
He's
that
a bit
Uncle Rick
delusional,
does,
though.
right? And then he talks. He's starting his YouTube show, trying to figure out Zoom, all this shit, and then says, "Well, I can't figure this whole Discord thing out, where all you literally have to do is click a room and look at what people say." I don't understand how he can't figure that one out. But you know what? I'm done cutting Uncle Rick slack about the Discord. Get your ass in there if you want to fucking learn shit about it. Because I know you're there. You just got to open it and look at it.
Okay, fine, I will.
We don't want him in there.
But don't.
There's an age limit.
But don't tell. Don't suggest for a heartbeat that I got this whole YouTube Zoom thing figured out. Long way to go there.
Yeah, I said learning it. I did not say figure.
Oh,
I said
Yeah,
figuring.
Uncle Rick, I was so fucking pumped yesterday, man, to get the tour in your garden on Chad's show. It was like fucking, like, yep, no. Like,
Ain't gonna happen.
man? Like, come on.
It was so close. It was so close.
I was so pissed off, man. Oh, Jesus. But I'm not going to give up. I may go to that. I have to talk. I want to talk with Chad about that. What he uses, StreamYard or something. I don't know if there's any advantages or benefits to it, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, though, Rick? I mean, for anybody who didn't see that, you know, you guys were on the Future Cannabis Project, you know, 2 last night with Chad Westport, and it was a great time, man. You guys did some garden tours, a lot of great information, cool shit was said. You want to fucking touch on that at all? We'll talk about it. Tell the people.
Yeah. No, it was. I was really embarrassed and disappointed that I couldn't get my shit working. But my God, I couldn't believe that I glanced over and we were in like 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I couldn't believe how quickly the time went. Smart Poker and Crispy, they're really, really interesting people. DP, as usual, he outperformed, and Chad, well, he's just an incredible interviewer, and so makes the whole thing go quite smoothly. Yeah, it was great.
Really was. It was a good show, and it was great to see you guys on there. You know, total different way. You know, Chad likes to do it all. You know, he's a totally different style of interview, and hell, sometimes you get to learn things in a fun way over there.
You know something?
Nice. Good seeing you guys.
Yeah, you know something?
A professional conversation and get all technical and shit at the same time, drop a freaking couple F-bombs and act like a 12-year-old just like the rest of us. So it's definitely cool to see that.
You know, I've picked up on a number of occasions, like, I don't know, we get to know each other as a group here, and I will never take anybody for granted, but that's what happens is you just, so when I see one of our colleagues on another show being interviewed, I learn more about them. I learn more about DP and Caribou and Indica when I see you on another show. It's really kind of cool.
You can imagine if you see us on Discord, you learn so much.
Fine, okay, I'll try it again.
On there like
You know what? He says try it again. Like we haven't seen him in there fucking every once in a while, and he drops in and says shit to somebody. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can check my records, buddy. Every now and then I'll hit the wrong button, and not the wrong button, but it's there.
I'm going to give you an easy explanation. Imagine you have a filing cabinet, right? The Caribou one is the drawer. Inside that drawer, there's different folders. If you enter that folder, those folders are different rooms for different categories. The general one, which is contribute and share, we're on there daily. So imagine you opened up Caribou's freaking file, the drawer. You're in this room now that has all these folders and doors, and those are the topics you have there. Grab one of the freaking topics and go in there.
Okay, now, so Discord is Discord is a community, and Caribou Heart is part of Discord, but also Grow From Your Heart is in Discord, and all of these other channels are in Discord. Is this correct?
Discord. Yeah, you just call it a giant community that it's just an
Discord's
app
the
that
host.
people.
Yeah. It's like Cannabis, only you get to choose who you want in there.
Discord's your filing cabinet. Each one of those rooms is a door to that filing cabinet. When you open that door to that filing cabinet, there's a bunch of folders inside there. We got to take it back to the analog days for Rick, bro.
Yeah. Each folder is technically a room, and you can go into that room and
the door, the room.
But don't listen to any of it, because we do whatever the fuck we want in every room. It don't fucking matter. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And that's the part that kind of,
when I get to meet you, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
That's gonna be kinky.
Okay, but that's the part that really intimidated me was when I used to have it on my notifications. So I'd be doing something, come back to my phone, and there'd be like 200 and some odd notifications, and like it's just overwhelming for me, and that kind of scares me away. So, but I'll try it again.
When you open that and it shows you all the notifications, right next to the 270 notifications, there's a little X. You could just exit out, or you go to your settings and turn off the notification for it. You can still go into that room. You don't have to read every one of those notifications. You could just exit, take the banner off that says notifications, just scroll down to the last one, or see if you've been tagged in any of them and pick up the conversation from there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I did. I turned off the notifications, but then I thought, oh shit, if I go back in there again, guess what? It's all going to be there. So
they're going to know. Don't make eye contact.
Well, that was another thing that, and I'm, I can't tell you how much I enjoy this, this group, this bunch of people that I've met. But yeah, and that's one thing that came up on the show yesterday was, I'm from that generation where, well, gee whiz, it was illegal, it was, and like you did everything so discreetly. And so now, that's why I never got involved with anything like
in my generation. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, but over the years,
it's illegal.
Like I've been busted 5 times, convicted 3 times. I paid my dues along the way, and I've always looked over my shoulder. Well, and I, so to this day, like where I live in an area where there's not too much going on that way except logging and mining and fishing, and the main town is that way, about half an hour. So it used to be before I was legal, whenever I would drive to town and I'd see a cop coming the other way, I go, oh, fuck, this is it. And then when I get home, I got to drive. I live on a mountainside. So I drive up the hill. And when I get up to the crest of the hill where I see my driveway, I'm thinking, oh, fuck yeah, the cops are going to be all over. Or every time I walk out of my grow, I have to look out to my driveway to see if a fucking cop is there. And that's how I've lived my life. So to suddenly to be sharing all this shit, it's quite a learning curve.
Even to this day, if a cop's behind me, my asshole puckers a bit. Okay? Yeah. It's just, even if I'm fully legal and I have whatever, it's psychological, dude. You see that car with the lights behind you and all of a sudden you clench up a bit.
Yeah,
I do anyway.
All right, gentlemen. That's my note. I got to work today.
Did I chase you away?
Hey, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Fuck out of here.
Rick, I'll show you my Moringa tree.
I'll check you out on Discord, buddy. I promise.
Take it easy, brother.
And nice seeing everybody.
Great day.
Good to see you, man. Good
Later,
to see
man.
you.
Hey guys, stay blessed, bro.
Green Goddess, thank you for the video on calibrating your pH pen. But you raised an item that I'd like to just throw out there. In the instructions, they state do not use if you're storing your pen, don't use pH. Don't use distilled water, RO water, anything like that, tap water. I was curious why they instruct you, but there's part of that cynical me saying they're only telling you that so they can sell you more fucking storage solutions. So I just wondered if anybody had an opinion on storing solution for your pH pen.
Somebody did tell me why on one of the shows why you can't use the water, but I can't remember why now. But I don't think you can't use water at all. You just can't use the treated waters because I don't know, something.
Got to do something to the probe, probably coat.
I believe it has something to do with like what Ganja was saying the other day when he was on, when you talk about how RO and distilled water has a tendency to try to strip things back out of, it tries to take things to complete itself again, right? The water wants to grab the molecules. So whatever makes that probe kind of, to detect the pH, the RO is trying to actively strip it off, I believe. I think that's why.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, and I would imagine too that storage solution would be at a specific pH. Obviously.
So South Nelson is saying that the distilled water will cause leaching of the bulb contents, and somebody else is saying you can store it in saline solution. So that would be what, like the same stuff you would use for like contact lenses, like something like that.
Oh, water.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. General saline. They'll just sell it at the store for like rinsing out wounds, shooting up your nose, fucking eye drops.
Around the hospital, they got bags.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, but typically you buy it in the bigger bottles just as like a wound wash or something. Is usually the cheapest way to get it.
Cool.
So thank you for mentioning chat, Green Goddess. I don't even have my YouTube open. Oh my God. So embarrassing. Wake and bake. There we go.
I'm trying to get YouTube and the Zoom on the same on one screen so that I can follow it rather than trying to bounce back and forth, like looking at chat on my phone, trying to do this here. But last time I did that, my computer shut down, but I think it's because I didn't plug it in. So I'm a little intimidated to try that again.
So I had a girl jump on my live yesterday, and like, sometimes you have a lot of followers. You don't fucking recognize everybody all the time. So I thought she was following me and she asked to jump on. Apparently, like, the lives are public now. So like anybody can like jump in and watch. It's really weird. Anyway, so she asked to jump in and I'm like, I don't know who this is, but whatever, I'll let her in. And I'm so glad I did because she showed me the most amazing fucking garden I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen anybody with this setup before. She had like these vertical fucking lights, like in a row, like down these rows, and then she had
a cool looking fucking garden.
They were on like all these racks with wheels. Like, it was crazy, man. So I'm not gonna say who it is right now, but we have got to get her on here because it was amazing. It was like
I know who it is.
I was like, I want to jump in there and just hang out all day.
That's funny. I was just recently over talking just with I think Sequence and some people about that specific thing because I saw her posts on those lights, and I'm just like they're kind of, to me, that, you know, the same thing. They're kind of gimmicky, but they're really fucking cool, man. That way that garden's set up, how everything's just tiered and rowed, and it looks convenient as fuck. It's gorgeous. I mean, that garden is beautiful.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, man, I've never seen anything like that. And like, yeah, it's like magical. Like literally you see it and you're like, oh my God. I couldn't.
Yeah, that's really cool. We really do need to get her on if we can. That would be neat.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna give Bees her info and he can get a hold of her, because yeah, definitely. We do have to get her on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like shit. I have cold. You know what? Like, it's such a different world. I started feeling sick the other day, and I'm like paranoid as hell now when I get sick. I'm like, oh my God. Is it just a cold? What's going on? It is just a cold. I'm fine.
That's definitely good to hear.
Flu season, cold season.
I'm excited. I kind of did the thing, right? So I was, this is, I think we're going to get this turned. Come on, jar. You suck. So that is a nice jar of, been soaking for a very long time. That's going to be my first run of RSO today. We're going to take that up to the new machine I bought and see how she works. So I bought one of those water distillers, you know, so you can adjust temperature here and there. Well, I don't think I paid a whole lot of attention when I bought it of how big the motherfucker was. Like, I was thinking that this little jar was probably all that it was going to hold, right? Like a Source Turbo or something. Come to find out, the thing holds like 2.5 gallons. So next run, I'm going to be able to, if this works good, well, and proper, the next run, I am hoping that I'm going to do like a gallon run or so and really see if I can pump some out, and then, you know, let everybody know how that damn thing works. Because if we can find a cheaper, easier option, you know, where we can still reclaim, you know, as much of that alcohol as possible, not burn the RSO, not have to worry about it, you know, like a set and forget type thing, that would be a lot cheaper than I'm down to, you know, try to get that shared for everybody. So we're going to find out.
Also, I have fungus gnats. That is all.
Well, until you get that cleared up, we probably should not have such close relationships.
Yeah, so like I'm sitting here one day and I go to look in the tent and I have this bug like fly up my nose. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm looking around and like now I can see them flying around every once in a while. I see one and I'm like, what the hell are these? And they're fuckers too. So I did order some of that yellow sticky stuff online and I'll just stick them in my tent. But like, they don't really do anything, do they? They're just annoying.
Yeah, they're annoying. They can do some damage to the roots. So it's something you should pay attention. They don't do serious damage like other insects might, but keep in mind too that those yellow sticky traps, they're only good for killing the live ones. The eggs and larvae have to be dealt with as well. And I found myself most effective bottom feeding, nematodes, and H2O to seem to do the trick.
So that's kind of what I looked up. It said if your soil is it dries out or is too wet?
Too wet.
Yeah, then
too wet.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't think I was watering them.
The biggest thing you're dealing with when you deal with the fungus gnats, right, is they will eat live roots, which most things they don't eat live roots, but they will. Now, they're not doing enough to damage an established plant. All right. So fungus gnats will destroy seedlings, but not really a whole lot on a live plant. The biggest problem that you have with them are they are your biggest vector for any kind of disease or pathogen to get into your plant. Since they're constantly down there fucking chewing on your roots and shit, that's how they'll get that in.
Right.
So that's your biggest problem is you are looking at pathogen and disease with the fungus gnats. So
it was
Yeah,
one
thank
hack.
God Noof mentioned that Copart Canada, they have something that could take care of that for you.
Opperts Canada.
Thank you.
They're
Sorry.
what they do is beneficial bugs. So you can look into them. I think they have an office or facilities, whatever, here in the Vancouver area. I want to say Chilliwack, Maple Ridge, Aldergrove, somewhere in and around there. I was we've talked about or heard you mention in more than talking about fluff using like carnivorous plants as an option possibly. Yesterday, Ashley and I, we went and did some Christmas shopping the next town over, and we stopped at their grow store because it's a hell of a lot better than anything we got in this town. And they had some Venus flytraps there. So I was like, you know what, I've killed a million of them before, but I didn't know anything about gardening or really even care back then. So I picked one of those up and we'll give that a go. It's not going to get rid of my fungus gnat problem at all. It's just more of a novelty to let's see if we can get this thing eating some bugs and see how that goes. But yeah, we'll see how that one works. I was out in the car smoking a joint and I heard Noof talking about, or not, I heard Lobster, sorry, talking about we need to get the dab frog going or something to that effect. So with Lobster in mind, this dab is dedicated to you, brother. And we love Noof too, so we can dedicate this to you as well, just because I'm a fuck up and don't know how to speak proper.
So I was gonna.
Since Fluffy made me realize that little firebug's fucking smoking a stove, I realized this morning in the intro, Larry OG's not wearing any shoes.
Huh?
Don't worry about it. You can go back. You'll see it next week.
Hey, so I was just thinking, you guys are everybody's always talking, we talk about the fungus gnats and problems and bitching and whining. And I got to thinking the other day because I bought some for my outside garden and think about it all the time because everyone uses like the mosquito dunks, right? And everyone pitches because you can't get the good mosquito dunks that you want to do with. Has anybody fucked with dippling powder? Have you even heard of it? Right? It's literally the same stuff. It's the Bacillus thuringiensis or whatever that is, the BT, that is the active ingredient from the mosquito dunks. It's just in a powder that you apply to your soil and shit. I don't have any reason to use it at the moment. But yeah, I got it from my outside for like caterpillars and things on your tomatoes or hell, just outside preventative for the garden, right? It's a nice BT dust. So I was just wondering, it's like I got a nice size fucking spray or powder duster bottle of it for like $4, but that stuff's in like small nurseries and garden stores all over. And I think it's something people don't think about when they think about trying to get like the mosquito dunks or using, the active ingredient is what you're looking for, not so much just that product, right?
Yeah.
So,
What's that stuff called again, Fluff?
Yeah. What's it
I
called?
believe it's called like dipple powder. I'll go get the bottle for it real quick. Just the one that I got and hold it up for the camera.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. There's something else that Smod Poker mentioned yesterday on the show. He also uses a combination of H2O2 diluted. He's got the 30% diluted to 2.5 milligrams per gallon. Or if you're using the 3% H2O2 hydrogen peroxide, mix what is it again, Fluff? A quarter of a cup to quarter of a cup of H2O2 to a cup of water, and and just spray it on the surface of the soil.
Bluff's like, no,
Oh,
don't do that.
No, that's like, it's like a third of a cup of 3% to a gallon of water.
Okay, I'm sorry. What did I say? I said a quarter cup to a gallon. No,
You said like a quarter cup to like a cup.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's
no,
even
yeah.
that's better than what I thought I heard. I thought he said a cup for a cup. I was just like, holy shit.
No,
I was like,
okay.
Rick, are we using 3% or the 29 when we do that?
Yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, I'm bad. My bad. Dipel.
Or I'll
Dust.
put you up on Spotlight, Fluff, so we can see better.
Good, thank you. And anyway, he was what they were doing was just spray that on the surface, and of course that kills the fungus, which is what the gnats live off of, and then he alternates that with Dr. Zymes. So just again spraying it on the surface to kill the fungus. Yeah.
And yeah, if I'm correct, this is just like BT and fucking diatomaceous earth is like the dust that it's in, and so it's kind of just a thing, right? I had good luck with it in the garden for what I used it in outdoors. I just haven't, like I said, I haven't had any reason to throw it, to try to use it for fungus gnats or anything inside, but I was going to give it a try. But just thinking about that, it's people don't think about going to these small nurseries to look at some of these options, and it's there, just doing a little research and figuring out what you want to buy, and you can figure out how to get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Anyway, thought that one was neat. You everybody brings up fungus gnats. That's there's an option for you.
Here's a quick look at that Coppert's website here. So we'll check out like pests and diseases here.
Oh yeah.
What kind of goodies they have here, and I'm using this on my shitty little computer mouse, not the proper one, but product solutions. I personally have never used Copperts. I've been kind of wanting to because I like the beneficial bugs idea, but I know quite a few people that have used them. You see right here, you got the Swiderski. Looks like they're going after spider mites there, would be my guess. The sachets that you put on there. But anyways, that's option to try this. So instead of using chemicals, there's your insecticide to get rid of pests and whatnot.
I see Safers has got something now too called BTK, advertised as a caterpillar killer. But it's got the same the same active ingredient, Bacillus thuringiensis.
Yeah, good luck with that. But at least we all know when you go all mush mouth after the we all understand that. I decided.
Hey, you guys remember that?
To come up with my own IPM of sorts. I was fucking around with soap nuts, and I boiled a bunch up to make a solution with that. And then for shits and giggles, I have a theory that things like garlic and ginger are really good for the human immune system. I eat a lot of garlic in particular. So I thought getting rid of bad pathogens and whatnot. So I filled up a gallon milk jug with the soap nut water. And then I filled it up with a bunch of diced up garlic and ginger and just put it in there and covered up the bottle with our lid of the bottle with a paper towel and elastic band. And then stuck it under the bathroom sink with the intention of getting back to it later that week. And that was about a month and a half ago, maybe fucking longer. And I put my soil together yesterday in the little green box that I was talking about for doing the sip containers with, and decided after I re-amended it with all the other Gaia Green nutrients and other shit I was putting in there, something to wet it down and see if we can get the fungals going. And sprayed the shit out of the top of that, covered up with plastic. So we'll see if anything interesting happens there, because it's the garlic smell was strong with that. When you get a hint of the ginger, but like, fuck me, I used a lot of ginger and garlic on that one. So it's interested in seeing how that one works.
South Nelson Farms asked or wasn't sure if dipple dust is available in Canada. I just noticed I'm looking at a website called Home Loft. I've never heard of it, but it's available in Canada from them anyway.
Awesome. We'll have to check that out. Speaking of South Nelson Farms, have anyone been paying attention to him on Instagram lately? Have you seen the rosin press that he built? Like, that thing is badass. It looks like he welded together a bunch of I-beams and then
That thing
got
is
his
beautiful.
bottle jack in there and wired up. I believe from conversations I've had in the past, he does electrical work by trade and wired up his whatever the electronic components are. And and I believe that was the rosin that he sent me a while back was probably on the unfinished version of the press that he's using now. So very, very cool, man. I like to see the hands-on DIY attitude. I wish I personally had a little bit more knowledge, but instead of put my nose to the grindstone and learning intelligent stuff back when I was younger, I preferred to just smoke pot and learn absolutely nothing and just stare at the fucking television. Kind of funny how now I'd much rather get stoned and be a little bit more productive. Funny how your life just kind of does those 180s on you. Well, everybody's busy not talking.
Trying to play with chat. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're playing with yourself and we know it.
You're right.
Yeah, it's later tonight, I believe at we're gonna go for 5 p.m. Pacific, so that would be what 8 p.m. Eastern. Steve the Weed Wizard and I, we're gonna do another Headbangers Bowl. We're gonna talk about New Wabum. That's the new wave of British heavy metal for anyone else that's unaware of that, and get into that. And then that should be one hell of a time. And then immediately after that, we should have the Michigan Bro Show going on at 6 p.m. And isn't it Ed Rosenthal night for them?
Yeah, it is.
That tonight?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
Congratulations to them, by the way,
Yeah,
too,
definitely.
Bro Girls, for having him and getting him on. That must be huge, as doing podcasting. So congratulations to that whole crew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm gonna have to take a Johnny to catch that show, man. Seriously. That's
for this Headbangers Bowl, there's no chance in hell of us running a few minutes over on that one. We'll be shut down probably a few minutes early, so you can go take a leak and raid the fridge or roll a joint, whatever you got to do, so you can be sitting there ready and waiting when Ed hits the Michigan Bro Show. So once again, shout out to those guys. You guys are all awesome and fucking killing it, just killing it.
So when I was when we were talking about South Nelson Farms and his IG account, I brought it up, and he's got something here. If you don't mind,
you
I'd
were
like
a stalker in a previous life, weren't you, Rick?
I still am, man. I still am.
You mean
look up on the
computer made it. Look at that smile.
Look up on
The computer
on
made
the
it
map.
so much easier for him to stalk.
Look up on the map over here. Anyway, this style here of stressing the plant, cutting the stalk, and I played around with it in the past, but cutting the stalk like in the last week to 10 days of flower, breaking it up open in the middle here to cause stress to the plant. I was just curious if anybody else has tried that technique and what their opinion is. South Nelson is saying that maybe it caused too much stress.
I only did it one time in my early grow, but I've never tried it again.
I did it once to shorten a plant.
I did that by accident when I was just twisting and popping my plants like that. I had a hollow stem one, and I went and did that, and all of a sudden it was like you could like wave your hand through it that way and see your hand, and then also this way. So it was like it had 4 corners to the stalk on it because I busted it open on all the sides. It was kind of funny.
I didn't go that deep with mine, but yeah, I did it because I just wanted to fucking shorten a plant. So I had an elongated section of nice solid trunk like that. So I split it down the middle and I just shortly pulled it down a little bit. So it opened up a little at a time, over like a week, I just kind of, and so I squished it down to where I probably could have put, like those small basketballs. You know, those like kid size, really small basketballs that you could like really easily palm. I probably could have put that in the middle of that and, you know, had it around.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so, and I did that just because I wanted to shorten the plant a little bit. It stressed the fuck out of the plant and slowed it down like a son of a bitch. So everything I tried to do, it accomplished it because it slowed down growth and it shortened the shit out of it. It recovered just fine afterwards. It was no big deal. But I wouldn't say it did anything special to the plant. Cool. I should have put took a fucking glass globe and put it in the middle and took a picture. God, why do you make me think of this shit like way later in life? I might have to do it again now.
This time it'll work out because you're going to do it on purpose and you're going to figure out how to make it look all nice and pretty because you're going to be like, I'm going to take pictures of that motherfucker now.
Now, I've heard of using this technique in about 10 days, maybe 10 days before you're ready to harvest, not necessarily doing it earlier on in growth, just to make the plant go, holy fuck, what's going on down there? I better finish up here.
Well, my idea was I just did it slowly. Like the initial cut to break the fucking stem was a bitch on that plant, but the rest of it, kind of opening it slowly, was to reduce the stress so that hopefully I didn't just cause it to, you know, like fucking herm right away, because I was like, oh yeah, let's fuck it up as much as I possibly can at this moment and super stress it. So that's why I thought the idea of opening it and kind of making that arch slowly help that plant not stress as much anyway. So, you know, those things you'd still have to worry about, you know, when you do those high stress training, especially even like late in flower to set it off like that, you really might cause a super late stage herm, you know. I don't know if it'd be, you know, something that where it would have time to actually develop that sac and, you know, pollinate before you had something to worry about, but I don't, it's something you would definitely have to think about.
Yeah.
Always something. Male flower on my fluffy Jack the Ripper plant, and I'm just like, it's just one lone fucking thing there, and I'm just like, well, son of a bitch. And I have a feeling it could be a light leak thing because my tent is not completely light proof. I'm well aware of it. I've got bigger problems to deal with at this point than a couple of pinholes right there. So kind of watching this plant closely now to see how it goes. And it's could be just one that depending on how good it is, it just gets to stick around for a while and never really get used for many breeding projects because I just don't want the fucking... Every time I think of hermaphrodites, I think of two occasions in my life where the last one was about a year ago where I had some OG Kush just go terribly herm on me, which I guess is typical for that strain. And then within the year before that, I had some ghost train haze and an Alaskan thunderfuck. Now, either one of those or both of those just went insanely fucking herm on me. And it's like I couldn't figure out which, and it was fucking up everything else in the room. And just the other day when we were talking about what's the strain, your pain in the ass strain that you don't ever want to fuck with again, I'd say probably maybe that ghost train haze, which sucks because it has like this wonderful, almost tropical smell to it that you're just like, God damn, I want to fuck with that, but not for that amount of seeds. I don't. No, thank you. I'm going to go sit in the car and smoke a joint. I'll hang out with y'all on YouTube.
So, Beef, you were asking me the other day a question. What was that all about?
Oh, yeah. So I was thinking about in an aquarium plant, right? You have a stem plant, just grows straight up. You know, you top the plant, it'll do the same thing, you know. But if you let that motherfucker grow up super big and then you cut it way down low, I mean, you know, there's a couple leaves at the bottom. Like at a certain point, it's what they call like the terminal node. And if you get below that terminal node, I don't know where it would be, but you know, like at a certain point, the plant will top and it'll continue regularly. But at a certain point, you cut it off, it'll continue to grow, but it never will really get past that height, right? It'll just stay there, and almost like the leaves that will grow out, they'll just be kind of small and not, you know, I mean, like the plant will stay alive, but it's not
yeah, it's a whole lot of the same reason, kind of in the training and trimming of like a cannabis plant. When you're topping them, people aren't going past, you know, like this certain number of tops. When it comes to the cannabis part of it, you know, your terminal is really just the tip. The terminals constantly pop. It's more like a bush, you know, it's branchy, you know. But what you're doing at that point is you're hampering its ability to send enough everywhere. So that's where you really get into the big problem is at a certain point, instead of having a nice thick branch, everything that comes off it is branchy. And that's usually, you know, almost like at your, say what, your third topping. So you're sitting at what, like 10 mains. That's when people really start to notice that everything will start getting wispier, or the branches that do come off are now getting so small that, you know, they're not going to produce a bud worthy of, you know, fucking with. So that's where you have to find your fine line is when it comes down to that terminal, because pretty much everything on this plant is, right? If it has a node on a cannabis plant, it's pretty much considered like almost like a terminal. But the more you have, the just weaker they get. So that's where you see, you know, a lot of the breeders and stuff, they're trying to breed some of that out, you know, like my specific, like Hawaiian, super fucking branchy, man. It requires a lot of training and trimming. And at, let's say, I want to say like the third node when a branch splits, right? Its own branch. So you have your main coming up, this branch comes off, and then it has like 1, 2, 3 nodes. And then all of a sudden, that's when it starts to just like everything that now comes off of that is now just a small little branch. So that's how that one grows. And it's a pain in the dick because, you know, even during flower, it's constantly popping out those little bastards that are just sucking away energy off of, you know, off of the bud growing up, because it wants to grow these other small ones over here. And then say like Caribou Super Silver Haze right now, that son of a bitch has 4 mains, and all it does is those 4 mains, they don't have like that aspect where they branch anymore. They just go up, and then they create, you know, a bud site, and it goes up and it creates a bud site. It is not trying to branch anymore to create another offshoot of that. So there is, you know, that point. But it seems like with the breeding that everybody's doing, you have to grow that plant out and figure out where it is. To me, all of them are different when it comes down to that. I don't know if that helped.
Yeah, that answers the question.
Yeah,
I mean,
to
answer me, yes. The answer is yes. It's the tip.
What's the short answer?
The short answer is yes. There's terminal nodes on a pot plant. It's the tips.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, no, that was fun actually, because then I had to, you know, I pretty much told you that answer like instantly, and it was like, yeah, but I'll give you a better answer when I talk to you. And that made me actually call, you know, my big sister, who is an agricultural biologist, and I had to talk her ear off for about an hour and a half about this to make sure I was correct in what I tell you. And then
That's
so
cute.
it was good to be able to
You're
actually
welcome.
just call my sister for the information you wanted. So that was fun.
It's helpful when your siblings do things that come
It
in.
is, but for some reason, there's a complete and utter disconnect in my mind where I have trouble actually asking her for shit, because it's like my big sister. I ain't gonna fucking ask her shit, and she'd probably just fuck with me anyway, right? I'd be like, I don't even know if I trust what you're telling me. So I go out and I fucking research everything, and I fucking do all my stuff. I ask my mom, I get over, ask her some, the old school granny fucking mom technique, right? And she'll tell me to some shit, but has no idea why it works. And then I'll be like, all right. And then I'll do a little research, figure out why it works. And then I'll go ask my fucking educated ass sister and be able to have a educated conversation with her. So that's kind of how I make it happen.
If I said terminal node to my mom, she'd be like, terminal what? That would
Exactly.
be a conversation.
Exactly. My mom would be like, I don't know. It's probably this part right here I clip off. And then I'd figure everything out. And she'd be fucking absolutely right. She'd be 100% right. She'd be like, I don't know. It's probably that right there. And
you got to get her on the show.
You got to go a few generations away, and then you actually get the real scientific answer. Get who on the show, Rick? My mom?
Your mom or your sister? Yeah.
My sister? Yeah, we could. We could fucking. She'd probably love to come on here and it'd be a general plant question. She's not a cannabis grower or anything. She is just, she does work for like the state of California as an agricultural biologist. So she knows her shit. She knows a lot about all that, and she knows a lot about plants. And if you can take your question and turn it in generally, she can answer it. So
yeah, I bet it'd be a great. It would be a great one. Yeah. And by the way, I'm done with Prophet's mom. So if your mom's up for it, I'll take a run at her.
That's so funny because she told me the other day she was done with you. So I mean, you guys are like high schoolers. I swear to God. I broke up with him.
Like once they hit like what, fucking 75, they just turn into fucking high school again.
Yeah, pretty much. Apparently, it seems. Whoever's gonna take credit for the fucking breakup. I don't know, Rick. You kept saying you kept falling asleep. I don't know, bitching about not having your ED pills that month. I mean, I heard a few things from my mother talking about it.
And Kingfisher's on to me. I honestly, I wasn't going there, but Kingfisher says, yeah, Uncle Rick wants new women to try to chat up.
Yeah, you were going there.
Come on.
Yeah, no. Fuck, Rick couldn't handle my mom. That is a fucking.
It's messed up when my mom says you're a whore.
Y'all remember the Tasmanian devil, right? That motherfucker just spinning around like a whirlwind of fucking terror. That is just my mother, but it's positive, good energy. But it is just a whirlwind of fucking crazy. Love that woman.
Right on. Yeah. So the good news is I got my exhaust fan hooked up in my tent. However, the bad news is, okay, this is the instructions. That's how thick the instructions are. And I thought, okay, well, that probably because it covers 18,000 languages. No, it's all English, all fucking English. And the programming part of it is, well, it's just over half the book. Half the book is programming. So the good, so that's the part that I'm going to have to run at today. Anyway, I don't know if you can help me with this quick. I should be able to figure it out, but right now my humidity. So I got this thing set up, and then I sealed my tent so that I can try to get under control of the environment. But I really, quite honestly, I don't know how to do it because right now my humidity is at 60%, which is a little bit higher than I really want. My fan speed is set at 3. So is it safe to assume that I simply want to increase my fan speed to reduce my humidity? Is that going to help me?
What do you want your humidity at?
Well, ultimately, I'd like it around 45 to 50. But I'm just in the transition right now of going to flower. So right now I'm okay with 60, but when the buds start to form, I want it to be down around 45 or so.
Okay, mine's really high then, but my plants are loving it, so I'm not.
Yeah, but and you're in veg,
I'm
and
in
they
veg right now.
yeah, and they love it. They love the high humidity in veg.
Yeah, like mine's super high. Like that's why I asked you that, because like mine's like 80.
Yeah, and you know it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, they're liking it.
Yeah, yeah. That's what matters, I guess, more than anything else. Is
What about a dehumidifier?
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm going to have to consider that.
Throw it out there.
Yeah, yeah. I have to consider the room, the area that I have to work with. But yeah, obviously,
Ambient temperature battling against you guys because you're in a tent.
Yeah.
Or ambient humidity. Sorry.
Yeah. Ultimately, I'll be able to do that. I should be able to easily set up a dehumidifier in there. I mean, I've got a massive tent here. Just right now, it's just one big mess. But yeah, when I get back down to 4 plants, then I will definitely have room for a dehumidifier in there. But I don't think I can fit. Well, maybe I'll see. I only have about 3 kicking around the house here, so should be able to get something in there. Guess I can't elevate it.
Well, I mean, if you even put it around the tent just to bring the ambient humidity down around the tent, your intake, which whatever your intake is, will be bringing in that humidity as opposed to what you have outside of your tent right now.
A good point. Yeah, yeah. I can play around.
Rick, do you have your humidifier in your tent or in your room?
Okay, I'm talking about my tent right now. My room, I don't worry. I can control that to like 1 degree.
No, you're right. No, we're not. We're talking about your tent.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the room your tent is in. Do you?
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. No, I don't. I haven't done anything to adjust that temperature at all. So
okay,
maybe
everything you're adjusting is inside your tent, is what you're trying to adjust, right? So everything like all of your controls are also inside your tent, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if you wanted to drop your humidity, instead of doing some of these other things, pull the humidifier out of the tent and put it in the room. Okay, let the ambient room temperature get a little bit more humid, but when it goes into the tent, you'll be able to knock the humidity down by a decent percentage because you're not trapping all that moisture inside that tent. Even though, you have exhaust going in and out and stuff, you're still going to trap a ton of humidity. But if you pull that humidifier out of your tent, use it in the room for the air going inside the tent, you'll still get some of the humidity, but nowhere near as much of it. So use it as like a lung room. All right. If you want to drop your humidity a lot more than what you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
You can,
and also
and then you can do something like put it closer to the intake. Like the closer you put the humidity or the humidifier to the intake, the more you'll be able to adjust how much of that humidity it'll actually suck into the tent also. So you can adjust it just by moving that son of a bitch around the room and how much air you're blowing in and out, stuff like that. So if you want to drop it and adjust it, that's kind of a ghetto way of being able to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I've still got work to do. I still got a shitload of work to do because, quite frankly, I haven't designed an intake because I'm worried about the light leak thing. But I have the equipment. I've got everything I need. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. And so what's happening is the wall, even though my fan is only set on 3 out of 9 or 10. All the walls of my tent are all concave. They're all like, so obviously I'm sucking out more air than I'm putting into the room. Yeah. So I've still got a ways to go.
Maybe somebody can explain what G-Bay just said. He said 80 for humidity is fine if the RH is matching according to the VPD. Can somebody explain that a little bit?
Yeah,
well,
what
everything boils down to the VPD. So, and the VPD is kind of everything relates to the relative humidity. So, as long as you could have 80% humidity and like 110 degrees, right? And as long as it doesn't drop to say like 80% and once that temperature drops, then you hit dew point. All right. Once you hit dew point, you are way past VPD. Everything gets wet. That's when the water comes out of the air. So as long as you have the heat, you can have more moisture in the air, right? And then that gets to the point where if you're going to run 80% humidity, and then you're going to have to run like 100 and fucking some odd degrees. That's when you get to the point where you have to run CO2 because now your plants need the extra carbon, and that's when you're really supercharging shit.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's not that's nothing for fucking beginner stuff, right? That's when you're getting fucking advanced, and and that's for people pushing weight, man. A lot of that, you lose a lot of quality when you run that kind of speed and temperature, humidity. When those plants are working like that, you lose a lot of quality. So.
And the VPD or whatever it's called, that's that chart we were looking at that one day. Okay.
Yeah, there's a number. If you just Google it, there's a number of charts out there that you can follow. Use that to follow.
Okay, and the lady I was talking about earlier with the lights is actually in the chat right now. Canadian chronic gardener. So G-Bay just wanted to shout her out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if she is out there, yeah, we were just chatting up all about your room earlier and how fucking cool and clean that shit is.
Yeah.
So congratulations. And if you ever want to come on here and talk about it, hit up Mr. B's right there and he will get you scheduled so we can come talk to you. And we want to see that shit because it's beautiful.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very much so, I'd say.
Yeah, so see, if you like look over in chat, Abolish said kind of what I said in a very short, easy fucking manner. That's why we love guys like him.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
Say it and just fucking people understand it.
Yeah, so the bottom line, Green Goddess, is as long as your temperature and your humidity are within that parameter. For your VPD, you can run any temperature and humidity, just about any temperature or humidity you want. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I will have to lower it though, because I think I'm going to have issues with getting it hot enough due to the fact that like this room is kind of cold. I only have one heat vent. So when winter happens, it gets really fucking cold. So I'm like a little paranoid about the heat already. So I think I should probably try to drop it so that I don't have to go as hot, or else I have to get like a little heater or something.
Yeah. But then again, do it like Fluff suggested, is instead of trying to control the temperature within your tent, try to control the VPD in the tent, try to control the VPD in the room you're in the lung room. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be harder.
Well, I always find, you put those humidifiers in the tent, people fucking crank them up, and then they don't do any of the due diligence. All right. So that is wet fucking air. You might as well be misting it all day, right? Yeah. That isn't like it's humid, yes, but that's just fucking wet air. And I do not like that in my tent at all, because that causes all kinds of shit. So I don't mind humidity going in there. So that's when I say
weird though that Uncle Rick, like your humidity is way lower than mine, but you're getting like wetness inside, are you not?
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I have to correct a few things. Number one, first of all, I took my humidifier out of the room like a couple of weeks ago because the plants are getting big enough that they create their own humidity. So, but that's exactly what happened. I had the humidifier in that room, and about 2 weeks ago, I had a power outage, and that caused an incredible spike in the humidity. It was way up over. It was around 80%. So I addressed that.
But see, I don't have that with mine. Mine's at 80. Even the one day I went in, it was 90 and nothing. Like they're fine. It's so weird.
This is when the lights were off. This is when the lights were.
Okay.
They're resilient. They can take a lot in veg. Like, don't let that fool you. The second you put that
Oh,
thing,
I know. I gotta be
different
really
ballgame.
careful when I flip them, but
That's when he becomes a sensitive bitch.
And here's the thing that I find that everybody runs in, or a lot of people will end up running into. You have those like cold air or hot air humidifiers in the tank. You're pumping that all in. It shuts off when light shuts off, because you're being responsible and you don't want to over humidify it. But the thing is, it shut off. It kept it at that fucking humidity that the lights have been taking all that humidity out and burning a lot of it up and everything right up until the second the lights went off. So then all of a sudden it spikes because now the lights aren't burning it off. And now your plants start fucking gassing off and breathing, and the humidity spikes even farther, and your temperature just fucking plummeted, right?
Yeah,
so all of a sudden you hit fucking dew point really quick. All right. And now everyone's going to be dealing with fucking powdery mildew because you let all your shit, instead of like letting it ease down or just, relax gently or, slope down, everybody's shit just slams down, right? Everything just stops. Well, the plants didn't stop and the environment didn't stop. So, that's really what you have to pay attention to. I've been getting a couple messages here lately that people are trying to deal with these crazy humidity swings, powdery mildew, things popping up in indoor grows. And yeah, they're right. Once I've been explaining it to them, they're like, oh shit, you're right. I can see that spike. Like, yeah, oops. And yeah, it's something, and that's why I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but I always run way less humid than anybody. Like, it's nothing to look over and see my shit's running at fucking 30% humidity.
I'm around the same.
But at night it's only at 40% humidity. You know what I mean? And if I'm down in the 60s, I'm nowhere near fucking dew point. I'm nowhere near worrying about powdery mildew. Yeah, I might not fucking grow as fast as some of you guys, but
I can't hit dew point.
I don't have problem. I don't worry. I don't worry about the powdery mildew. I don't worry about some of these other issues just by keeping a slightly lower humidity and keeping things like keeping that humidifier the fuck out of my tent so that it's not just putting direct wet air in there when I don't want it. So
I'm with you, Fluff. I don't fuck with my humidity at all. It's whatever the air RH is in the house, that's what it gets, which it's usually, I find, on the drier side of what it would like, especially come drying time. But it is what it is. I've only ever seen bud rot once. I've never had powdery mildew in a grow or any of this other stuff that I hear about. So I feel like you might lose something in the return, but for the lack of headaches that I kind of get in return, it's worth it in the end.
Because mine's in my HVAC room. It's my heater and air conditioning basically system. Obviously during the winter it's running a heater. Summer it's running air conditioning. I don't need to do shit. My light battles the AC temp and it stays pretty good. Even with my light on when the heat's going, but at night, I don't run my fucking AC, so I don't drop very low. And obviously the heat's going through the night because it needs to be, so it never drops below that dew point he's talking about. So I do run on a kind of a low humidity, kind of like he does.
I think a lot of people don't think about their nighttime conditions at all. I mean, I think the second lights go out, I think most growers have no clue what fuck, is happening in their grow unless they go in and work on it. And even then, they're like, okay, well, it's comfortable in the room because they're in there working or whatever. But, are you really noticing your humidity? Are you really noticing your environment if you're in there working with your plants at night, Yeah, things like the pulse monitor and stuff. I'm not huge about tracking and logging everything, but I do have monitors that I will I check my nighttime swings and temperatures and humidity as much and as anally as I check my daytimes, because that's important to me. Because I'm not going to lose a fucking crop powdery mildew in my house. That is ridiculous to me. That's utterly ridiculous to me that powdery mildew would happen in my house. So I will just keep my humidity low. And I'm not a production grower, so I don't give a shit how fast it grows. As long as I have my stash of medicine and I can provide to the people I need to, that's as much production as I need. And I hit that mark regularly and consistently. So I'll keep doing it my way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard it suggested, and it makes a lot of sense too. And I'm going to seriously consider it for my tent. If just before your lights go off, maybe for about 15 minutes, put a heater in there and bump that temperature up just before the lights go off, and then it won't be such a shock to the system when they do go off. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of ramping it down slow. I mean, you can keep some of these, like, you know, if you know, the guys who want to turbocharge that veg, man, get that plant up and ready to flower, right? They're still got, you know, their higher nighttime humidities and temps, you know, because the plant's going to do a little more work because it's a little more comfortable, right? I'm not comfortable in those zones, but some of those people are. And shit, where was I going with that? But yeah, it's, you know, when you have that control, when you have those numbers accurately, when that temperature doesn't, you know, plummet instantly, right? You raise it up a little bit so it comes down a little bit slower, or so you burn a little bit of that humidity off before, you know, the plants transpire more as they're going to sleep and throw more humidity in the air. So, you know, that bringing it down slower, taking a little bit of that humidity out, raising that temperature up a little bit, because when everything declines, it'll come back down slower. Those are great ways to keep something like a high humidity in there if you need to.
Yeah. But and people are, I'm sorry, people are talking.
I just noticed it was high, so I wasn't really sure. But like, I honestly, when it comes to the plants, I just go with my gut. So like, they look really good, so I haven't changed anything. But now that you guys have said all that, I think I will, because I may be in trouble when it comes to flipping it. And sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, Uncle Rick.
No. Green Goddess, you brought up a good point, and you've mentioned it previously, and I wanted to talk about that, and that is getting back to being a new grower. It should not be overwhelming. It should, like, it really shouldn't be. But when you get together with a group of people like us, a bunch of nerds that got nothing else to talk about but pot and growing pot, excuse me, it can get a little overwhelming. But you know what's really good is put your feet back down on the ground and go with your gut, go with your heart, go with what feels good, right for you in your particular garden. We all have our own growing styles, and that's what makes it interesting. But let's try to let's try to keep it simple. I also wanted to ask what people are thinking. People are talking more and more about with this drastic change in temperatures. I know at one time it was kind of a standard to have like a swing between daytime and nighttime, maybe 10, sometimes 15 degrees. But I think people are talking more and more now about maybe trying to keep that daytime and nighttime temperature like closer, maybe even equal to, or possibly even higher, your nighttime temperature even higher than your daytime, and again, to help prevent these swings in your grow.
I know I used to run an AC to drop my temperatures at night near the end, like the last week or so of flower. I would try to get that room cold, but
yeah,
we've done that in a while. But that was just basically to trick the plant, you know. But I found having my RH or my humidity lower, I can actually feed more than the average person because moisture is being absorbed more by the plant and whatnot. So because of that, I can feed twice as much than somebody keeping the humidity up higher.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the cold temps and the drastic changes, I wouldn't attempt that the whole flower. It would only be like the last week type thing. Maybe after I killed the lights for 48 hours, you know, like, but it wasn't anything I was trying to do the whole grow.
Yeah.
Or the whole
I
flower.
think the biggest thing that most anybody who is fucking new to growing or is confused about a lot of this shit, right? You know, a lot of right, you can listen to it and everybody on here will have a different fucking opinion on all of it. And I think the most important thing that anybody who's new to this or confused about it or just is very sit in your damn garden, all right? If you are uncomfortable, your plants are fucking uncomfortable. All right. If you're cold, they're cold. If you're fucking hot, they're hot. That's it. All right. Adjust your fucking temperature, adjust your humidity and shit that way. Right. And it's the same with lights out. If you're in there and all of a sudden, you know, you're sitting in there and you're like, oh, it's a little like cold and clammy in here. You're damn right it is. So like fix that.
Fix it. Yeah.
Great point, Fluff. One thing you could do is like go reach out and literally put your hand on the stalk of your plant and feel it. If that stalk is cold, then the plant is cold. If it's warm, hot, you know, like anything else.
I mean, you know, also, but remember, I mean, at even at like nighttime though, that plant is going to be colder than you. It's not fucking warm blooded or anything.
Hey,
like remember that part.
So actually, earlier, Fluff, you mentioned, you know, like a lot of people don't know, you know, what goes on at night with their plants. Let's talk about that a little bit. What does go on? Basically, photosynthesis. Is that what goes on at night?
Oh, the exact opposite of
No, definitely not.
photosynthesis. So basically, they've been photosynthesizing and shit all day, and you know, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm gonna be a teacher on how this works. But during the day, they're taking the sunlight, right? And they're transforming all that into their food and their fucking energy. At night, they're going to sleep and they're using all of that, and they're sending, you know, they're sending like sugars and things down into the soil so that, you know, microbes go out, start farming the nutrients in the daytime. They take that stuff back up. They take the nutrients back up. They hit the sunlight. They start using the moisture in the sunlight for photosynthesis. So at nighttime, they're using basically everything that they've been working for during the day, but they're sleeping while they're doing it.
I've also heard that the roots tend to grow more while lights are out.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain on that, but I've definitely heard most of your root growth actually does happen in during the evening. Yeah.
That's why I give my
Purple
red
Thumb is saying that transpiration and respiration goes on at night as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, transpiration and respiration pretty much happens all the time. I mean, that's the plant breathing. That's it, letting the, you know, oxygen out, taking the CO2 in, letting the humidity and stuff in and out of the plant. That's pretty, but it definitely, like during the evening, it lets out a large amount of, it definitely does a lot more work with the transpiration in the evening. It seems anyway. Maybe that's just because the tent's closed up and you get to see it, and you know, like there's nothing, you know, burn, you know, it doesn't have the light and stuff burning it off. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a scientist. I ain't gonna fucking try to bullshit anybody on that one, but I do know what it works, what it takes in during the day, it fucking actually uses in the evening.
Yeah.
So
That's
make it that simple.
When the light's on, the plant above is doing its thing. When the lights go off, what's going on down below is what's going on because the above is asleep.
Right on.
The plant's always growing, regardless of whether the light's on or off.
And do you have to be more quiet around your
grow at night? I was always told that too. The roots grow at night, and the
for water that they used up during the day. They're reaching out farther to get to the water and the moisture that's still in the pot.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, man, that sounds good. Fucking Kingfish say gonna roll up some garden club hash. Joint. Wish I need a garden club down here, like an actual physical one. I love this one here and everybody over there, but I need like a physical one where motherfuckers can get together and smoke. You bastards in Southern Illinois, fucking let's talk.
Y'all remember back in the early days of the show when Bees used to do the show from the shitter? I was the
No.
okay,
But-
so this kind of came to mind. He shows up today and he's got this nice comfy looking chair, right? Normally you'll see him hanging out like back up against the wall, like maybe he's hanging out in a bedroom or whatever, just chilling. He's coming up in the world from the shitter up against the wall. And now he's got himself like a producer's chair. Great to have you.
It's good behavior at his mental ward. They decided to give him an actual room that looks presentable rather than just the white padded room that he's usually in.
Well, we got to keep him comfy because he's the only one around here that can play the frog. So it's
and apparently that can produce. He's the only one here that can produce.
I don't know about that.
Hey, you're the one producing guests, buddy. I consider that producing.
They fucking produce themselves. I just happen to.
Hey, either take the job title or not. I don't care.
Yeah, man, you're killing it there. Just within a couple days there, you had like a fucking whole huge ass lineup. Do you have a list of who's doing there in front of you?
Bees.
Give him a tease.
That's the one off the top of my head. That make me think any further is gonna.
Coastal Mary, right?
Madam.
Hey, Bees doesn't come on here to do any fucking work. He comes down here to get fucking smashed and talk shit with us. All right. Ask the details at like
on
3
Discord.
o'clock.
You gotta ask him on Discord. That's when he's actually doing his job.
Yeah.
You want me to pull it up, man?
I
can
gotta
pull up.
The chocolate's delicious, dude, and that's just where I'm at.
Oh, geez. Thanks, Paula.
And we forgot about that part. See the chocolate.
Fucking ruined him. Hold on. One of us has to have a guest list here.
He even kind of has that. Well, he's trying to look smart now and bright-eyed and bushy-tails, but even sort of has that no comprende look on his face, just like, no, just no.
Like, get that spotlight off of me, Caribou.
I comprehend.
I comprehend.
CCC tour. They're coming up. There'll be a guest.
Yeah, I got it right.
Is Adam you first?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody.
And then you got December 14th is Chris Guerrero. I know I just butchered that. And then you have CCC tour on the 21st, and then the 28th you have Mobius Grows coming on.
Excellent. Yeah.
Those all Tuesday nights. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was smart and I took a screenshot
Now
of
that
it.
Mobius is coming on, maybe we can get Rosin Man to come on too.
Good move. Smart move,
We'll let Rosin Man get his pass. We'll just fuck with fucking Mobius. We'll just tell him that everything on Adam's behalf is going to him.
And I
we'll get Adam sooner or later.
Sent Canadian chronic gardener your info, so hopefully she'll be on.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to talk to everybody. Everybody's so different, dude. And like fucking Mobius, right? He's a great one. I'd love to talk to him about, you see all the testing he does, the fucking grows, man. That dude's got some fucking fire. And, I know he's fucking been hanging out on the EO show with those guys, trying to fucking kick it with them. So he'll be a fun guest to talk to. CCC tour was really cool when they were, was that the art show or was that with Uncle Rick there? I don't remember. That was Uncle Rick's show. Yeah. They had a lot of cool information and shit that they do. That whole fucking thing they do is really neat. So, and I've been checking out Chris's stuff, man. That dude looks like a fucking hell of a fuck gardener. So it'd be fun to talk to him about his style.
Should be a
Yes,
good time.
tour. I've actually donated to their Thanksgiving that they do, and they're just amazing people. Like, so they'll shoot videos, you know, of them handing the stuff out, and like just how grateful people are. And not only that, but like, you know, it helps some people that are on harder drugs. They're giving them some cannabis to try to kind of get off of that, which is really awesome. And they do things like that all through the year, like not just then. They'll do it themselves, but they do ask for donations for that time period because they do a lot. I actually got them a rolling machine because they were hand rolling like hundreds of friggin' joints for these people. And I'm like, oh my God, that's taking forever. So I sent them a rolling machine so they could get them done quicker.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the post from Canadian Chronic Gardener. Yeah, that looks like something out of Star Wars. That I'm not even gonna. I'll let. I'm not even gonna show you. I'll let her explain it all. But that's really cool.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
very cool. Like, wait till you see it in person. I'm not kidding. Like, it looks like you're in some fairy tale. Like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like even the pictures, man. That garden just looks fucking magical. It really does.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, it is. It is magical for sure. I've seen people do like, you know, the things with where it's on wheels. I've seen that before, but I've never seen anything with those lights like that. That's crazy.
Oh, so hey, looking at this here in chat real quick. So Rick, you're doing the Mycology panel, right? So
Oh yeah, yeah. I wanted to mention that. Yeah.
Nice. And then it looks like I'm just going to throw this plug out for them real quick on Red's channel. It looks like on Polarity Science. Looks like Abolished is going to be out there talking with Red tonight. So that'd be good on
great.
Polarity Science. So
yeah. I've invited Abolished Mycology, Red Center Farms, and BC Mycology, and Bees has taken the reins on this one here because he's a lot more knowledgeable about mycology than I. But I'm certainly interested
currently
to learn.
researching, in the process of doing some research. So
yeah. I've just ordered a kit, as a matter of fact, and so I'm excited to learn more about growing them and the medicinal benefits, and yeah, it'll be a great discussion. That's Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
That should be a great show. I just, speaking of fungus, I just watched that Fantastic Fungi last night. Like, everybody watched that like 6 months ago or whenever that first came out, and I just, it's pretty rare I sit down and watch TV or Netflix or anything like that, but I was just kind of sitting there. If I can had one of those days yesterday and looked for something at the end of the night. That was a pretty cool show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get your kit from BC Mycology, Rick?
The kit didn't show up. I got a package from them. Let's just leave it at that. So, but yeah, so everything's coming.
I'd be interested in seeing how that goes. I've been wanting to reach out to them and get one of those myself. Just another little interesting little project around here to try out. Something to do. And
Definitely.
plus I ran out of mushrooms for the I was microdosing there for a while, and I felt like it was doing some good stuff for me there for a while, and then fucking ran out and haven't been able to source any in the area. So
yeah, we should hook up. For a number of reasons, we should hook up.
Yep, we probably do that.
Make sure you wear something pretty.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything, honestly.
Yeah,
I started driving
G-Bay
yesterday.
won a beard giveaway. Like, that man deserved to fucking, if he won something because of that beard, that's well deserved, sir. Well deserved.
You're here.
That man has a fucking gorgeous mane on him.
Who, G-Bay?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh,
Now,
I
let's
didn't
not-
even see who it was. Once you
Now-
said that, I was like, it's got to be G-Bay.
Okay,
If
well,
somebody
let's,
won something because of that, oh yeah, it was fucking him. You damn
Yeah.
right.
now let's not turn this into a bromance, but I got to tell you, like, not only his beard but his hair, it really turns me on too. So
Oh, that's why that
just put
motherfucker
it
has
out
a
there.
mane. Like it's all
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
For
no,
sure.
it's pretty impressive.
Turning you on and a bromance is two totally different things. Right? All right.
Yeah, that's actually, there's really good points getting made, with Uncle Rick's show,
Rick's got a
with
beard fetish.
Abolished, all those guys, man. Growing mushrooms is really fucking easy. It only takes a few easy steps, and listening to some of these guys, the health benefits. Even I'm not big into the the psychedelic shrooms at all. That's not my thing. But I would grow lion's mane, oysters. I would grow edible mushroom, all those other ones all day long. It would not bother me one bit. I would love to. It's just I don't need another goddamn hobby and more shit to buy. But it's mad easy to grow some of this shit. And if you're using that stuff for medicine, then absolutely. I mean, pay attention to these guys and fucking get yourself rolling.
Yeah, definitely. High and tight was saying that your worst enemy is contamination. You got to keep everything so clean, and but that's okay. It's ironic that you got to keep everything clean when you're growing fungi.
Yeah, you're talking about something that eats and decays like just about everything in the world, and you have to keep it clean. Like that is the weirdest fucking concept to me.
No shit.
As far as I'm concerned, it's like if you were doing anything, you would start with a clean surface, right? It's not like it's, so long as you go in with that mindset.
Yeah, but I mean so if I'm over here cutting clones and I'm stoned and forget to fucking wash my scissors, I bet you I'm still gonna get that fucking clone to root. If I do that with my mushies, probably not gonna fucking work. So there's a big difference there.
So Kingfisher
Yeah, but
mentioned that he
you
just
need to
found
not
out
be
that
stoned
Uncle
for-
Rick is
for 20
bi.
minutes. That's all. Like if you have to do something in 20 for for 20 minutes at some point, just
Can't believe you just found out that you were bi.
Yeah, so it all it does is gives me twice the opportunities to get laid. Okay, so there's a method in my madness.
That makes sense. Somebody's on
See,
it.
I mean, if the math and chat checks out, I mean, it's 2021, so everybody's a little bit bi. So by 2022, I mean, everybody's going to be a little worse. I don't know, man. Times are getting weird. I never thought, those old timers like Rick could, follow into that though. But I guess as much of a pervert as he is, it makes sense.
Constantly fishing off the coast.
Has anybody subscribed to Rick's OnlyFans yet?
I have.
Well,
Yeah, I noticed I don't have that many followers over at Pornhub anymore. Like, what the hell's going on there?
I don't think you get followers at Pornhub.
Oh my God, were you the one fucking Stoney posted about on IG when you got banned from Pornhub?
I was reading that. I didn't see my name, and I thought, I'm safe.
Thanks for keeping that under the fucking rug, Stoney.
Yeah,
that'd have made the whole Caribou show look bad if we knew Uncle Rick got banned from Pornhub. God damn.
Nothing left for me,
to
man.
make this show look bad. Like, I don't know. We kind of keep it at gutter level at all times, don't we?
It's real tough to go lower than where we're at.
I mean, we're kind of like like jet skiing on the top of the gutter, on top of the sewage is kind of how we keep it. So just don't fucking crash and fall in, kids.
Oh, Jesus.
You have to install safe handicap bars in your bathroom so you don't fall directly into the toilet.
Robin Thomas, I will never smoke a pole.
He rolls a pole and smokes it all the time.
Oh, shit.
We all do.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, let's see what else has been fucking going on. Hey, so Green Goddess, give us an update on how your grow's going right at this moment. I mean, people could probably go to your new YouTube channel and find out, but I'm going to ask you since we're
probably
on here
could.
live right now.
It's going. Yeah, they're looking really, really nice. They're getting tall. It's starting to freak me out a little bit because I think they're going to get too tall. So today I'm going to sit down and try to stress them a little bit and get them going different ways. And hopefully that will help. Yeah, they look really good. Here, I'll grab one.
Oh, see, you motherfucking Hall's getting ready to smoke a pole right now. Hey, don't worry about it, Rick.
I
It's
just
all good.
subscribed to her channel last night, actually. I remember I seen a post on, oh, I'm frozen.
That's my blueberry.
No, you weren't frozen. You were good, Caribou. Very nice.
Yeah, they're starting to fill out. That's the
You
like.
could, are you gonna top that right there? Or are you gonna let that grow naturally? What do you?
I was debating on topic. I'm not sure. I probably should. I think I probably should.
Up that son of a bitch.
I've been like on the fence, but yeah, I think I probably should because yeah.
I myself personally, I mean, if you look at the structure, how you have like that one section that really stretched out, I'd just chop that fucking section off right there, make
That's
that a clone,
exactly
let the rest
what
of
I
that.
was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, that plant right there,
all
that
like
structure will be beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I can save a little bit of the height issue as well.
Yeah, and that you're right, and that'll make a great clone. That'll be a perfect clone for you. So
yeah, for sure. And I do love this blueberry. This is all I'm smoking. Well, I shouldn't say all I'm smoking, but all like a lot. It's beautiful. Like I'm just so happy that they sent me these clones. They're just beautiful.
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah. Yeah, I was really pleased, impressed with the root system on those clones that they sent you. My goodness, they were like 3 or 4 feet long.
They were fucking nuts. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, unwrapping it and I'm like pulling it up and I'm like, oh my God, it's never fucking.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Are you planning on cutting clones and trying to keep those strains around for a while and really learn them, dial them in, or do you kind of want to get in and on to the next thing and just run through as much stuff as possible?
I kind of want to just get into some new stuff, and like really the only one I really wanted out of that was the blueberry. So the person that sent it to me said, don't worry about clones. I'll send you another one later. So
go ahead. Somebody knows how to mute profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to start because my original plan was to start seeds, and then she messaged me and was like, oh, I'm gonna send you the clones. So then I was like, because I was excited about the ones I was starting. So definitely.
Well, I mean, you're really a medicine person though, right? You very much use that blueberry for very specific reasons. So
absolutely,
you really should keep it around, and it'd be good practice to figure out how you want to keep a mother, because eventually you're gonna find one of these strains that you're gonna be like, I can't live without this son of a bitch, and you're gonna want to keep it around. So taking your favorite, get that clone of that blueberry, make that into a mother, do like the perpetual clone where you just clone, oh shit, it's got roots, let it grow for a little bit, take a clone, let it, do all that, get your system for keeping your strain around, because eventually you're going to find it and you're going to want it, and you don't want to have to stress about losing it once you do have it.
Yeah, no, you're so right about that.
And then in the meantime, just run through as much of the other stuff as you want. And just kind of, if you find something better, feel free to swap that out with the last one kind of thing.
And use it for practice. Try all the different cloning techniques. Don't just stick to one. Fucking throw some just in dirt, but, throw some in water and throw it in a fucking windowsill on your cup. Throw some in a cloning machine. See how you're going to get your best, most predictable results. And, use this as, this is when you need to start learning it. So
see, I've always like I'm not new to growing necessarily, but it's just been so long and things have changed so much. And I had a partner doing it with me, so it wasn't like I was on my own. So I have done seeds. I've always done the paper towel method. Dropping it in water like some people are doing, just, I don't know, it seems crazy to me, but I've seen it work, so I guess it does. But I don't know. I feel like
used
I'm
to do
gonna
it.
kill the thing by throwing it in there.
That's how I used to do every single seed. I would drop it in water.
I know, and I know it works. It just seems crazy to me. I don't know why. I don't know.
Can't leave it in there too long though. That's the thing.
I like the paper towel method myself, but since I've been playing with cocoa, I've been liking to just drop it straight into the cocoa and play. And everything seems to work perfectly except for fucking hype seeds. They freaking, those things will like jump out of this cocoa altogether and just like be 100% exposed, the root. And like this last one, the bottom friggin' probably ½ inch of it was like, looked like it might have been dried out. It was just like, son of a bitch. But I replanted it in there and it's sitting there. It looks like it fucking maybe even stalled out already at like a week old, fucking sitting there about that tall. It's the first 2 cod lead-ins and the tips of the first 2 leaves coming out. So hype's gonna kick my ass. Fucking, you're not allowed to talk about my genetics on the air anymore because you keep fucking them up. You're the only one, but
Hey, if I can grow his genetics, anybody can.
So following chat a little bit here. I don't know if am I going to be sorry that I came out of the closet today?
probably yes.
We've
I mean,
already
yeah.
know.
Have you seen the people on this panel and how we talk to each other? Yeah, I'm sure this is not going to be a good thing to you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with Discord. No.
Oh my God, White Widow just asked me, oh my God, did Rick just come out of the closet? So I'm just gonna let her believe that you did. You don't want to gave him?
I wish I could have seen her
He's not gay,
face
he's
when she
bi.
heard that and like contemplated that. Do you think she was like,
I wish I could turn the camera when he said that, dude. Her face was just like,
God,
about that exact look that you just made, Fluff, is kind of what flashed through my mind. She kind of walking through to the kitchen or whatever on her way to do whatever it is she was doing.
damn cartoon? Like there was like this and everything. Like,
yeah. You put it dead on, man.
Hey, you know what? I got to figure out this fucking emoji thing. I don't know how to, and especially I see
pretty good.
Rick,
Supreme
look at my screen. Rick, I got an emoji for you. Look at my screen.
How'd you do that? That's so cool. No, I want to find the Supreme grapes in the house, and I got to find those grape things. They look really, really cool.
Oh, now that's his. You can't steal his stuff. Come on.
No, this is other people like G-Bay is acknowledging, hey, Supreme grapes in the house. So he puts a bunch of grapes up there. It's really cool.
Supreme grapes always in the house.
I know, but I don't know how to put the grape thing up there. That's all.
I can tell you how to do it from your phone. I know how to do that.
I got one.
Flip it upside down.
Hang on. Hold it. I think I got it.
All right, hold on. This is segment 2 of Tech Talk with Rick. Segment 1, if you missed it, you're gonna have to go back in the replay. That was all about I don't even fucking remember. When it is bullshit as usual. But
hey,
all right,
there's
so segment 2. Let's go, Rick. Come on. What do we need?
No, I got a grape. Okay, we're good.
Holy shit!
You got a grape before.
Bees and kingfisher are showing off now. That's just showing off. Come on.
With her, and he'd be showing you up too.
Type grape. Does that work too?
Type grape. I was waiting for him to actually try.
Well, I type grape. Okay, and then if I put emoji, then it works. Well, not really.
Man, my phone's chart. I want to see what his is coming up as.
So he literally did type grape.
Grape came up.
And guess what came up?
Grape. The word.
Oh, shoot.
All right, everyone. I'm gonna have to get out of here. So just and I kind of got a few nods and thumbs up when I put that in the chat. So it seems like everybody's thinking about the same thing. Time to get out of here. Everybody in chat, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
always great to have you. Supreme Creep fucking seems to never miss a show. Give you a special shout out, brother. Uncle Rick, your mycology panel again. Can you tell us about when that's happening?
Yeah, that'll be this Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Pacific, or I'm sorry, 9 p.m. Eastern. And joining us will be BC Mycology, Abolish Mycology, and Red Setter Farms. And Bees is going to be our special host for that evening. And hope you all can make it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a stellar show, folks. You're not going to want to miss that one at all. Yeah, I guess before we go, I'll mention again, I think at 5 p.m. My time, so that's what 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a Headbangers Bowl, talk about the new wave of British heavy metal. And then immediately after that, Ed Rosenthal is going to be on the Michigan Bros Grow Show. And that's the fucking highlight right there. That is what you do not want to miss. So
right, well, I'll see you there.
The last few shows, the Headbangers Bowl, we've accidentally run over a few minutes into the Bros Show time, and that's not happening this time. We'll be getting off a couple minutes early so you can raid the fridge and grab a coffee if that's what you need and roll a couple joints so you can be sitting there ready. Captive audience. That's going to be the shit. You do not miss it. Anyone else got anything else they want to add?
No. Thanks for having us. Have a great day.
Good, man.
You
Fucking
too,
love
then.
you all. Thanks for hanging out with us. All that same shit. We'll fucking see you tonight.
And that's Madam Euphoria coming up this Tuesday, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be a great
fun talk right there.
All right, everyone.
Hey, okay, and just I'm sorry, while it's on my mind, very quickly, I just want to shout out to a couple of our colleagues that we haven't seen in a while. Squishy Bob, Opie 7420, Mrs. Opie. I know I'm missing a few, but I just know that you're all on our hearts all the time.
Love you.
Yeah, and you know what? Don't forget about the Neighborhood Grow Show too, man. Give those guys some support. There's a lot of good shit going on over there, man. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of good guys. You know, we see them, they support us. Get over there and support them also.
Definitely.
The Grow Show was what, tomorrow night? Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah. I think they go on. Is it 4 p.m. Pacific? Do we have a time for them? Does anyone know off the top of their head?
I think you're.
If Purple Thumb wants to put in all the information, man, we'll shout it out here real quick.
It's always right when I get off work. It's got to be 4 p.m. Pacific.
I believe it was, yeah. So anyway, shout out to those guys, man. Fucking go check those guys out too. Huge Cannabis Project, all these guys, man. Go check out the content. Go learn all you all know.
Westport's a pretty busy man these days, eh? He's like, it seems like just about every night of the week he's doing another show. So and good content too.
Yeah, the content's amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back later today. I'll be playing in the garden to watch your guys' episode on there yesterday. Let's just say I had a day yesterday, to put it lightly, I guess you could say. Yeah. But anyways, guys, it was great bullshitting with you. Always great to see you hang out, smoke up, and just bullshit about life. We'll see you all Tuesday night. Seeing if those but also some of y'all will be seeing you a little bit later tonight as well. Don't miss the Michigan Bros Grow Show with Ed Rosenthal, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And with that, we're out. Peace.